Hello friends! Today I am showing you activities to help work and develop fine motor skills. So if you like this video, click share. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe to help support my channel. Stay tuned! So as I said, we're going to talk about activities to help work and develop fine motor skills. And first of all, let's define fine motor skill. So fine motor skills is the coordination of a small muscle movements. Example of that can be the hands, fingers, and eye. So these are activities that are really good for hands, fingers, and eye coordination, and as well that you can find very inexpensive at a dollar store or any type of store that sells toys, very inexpensive, and some of them that you have already in your home because are toys that your kids play with. So the first activity that I want to show you is this one, and it's a Rubik's key. And the good thing about the Rubik's key is that you can move the pieces, and that creates, as you can see, fine motor skills as well. It's working with the fingers, and it creates eye coordination as well with the hands. So a Rubik's key, whether it looks like just a simple toy, it actually helps a lot with the fine motor skills because it works with all those areas at the same time, and it's an excellent toy for help you to work with the fine motor skills of your child. The next activity we have is called therapeutic, and therapists work a lot with this, and it's really good because it creates, as you can see, I'm trying to detach it from the from the container. It's a really good activity to work with the fingers, and what they are doing is they are going to stretch the therapeutic and try to get those beads inside. So you're gonna you can get these beads at the dollar store, very inexpensive, and you just put them inside, and the kid is gonna try to take them off. Just make sure you remember how many you have in there. They have to come clean with no material, and they will go back, or you can put them inside the container where it comes the therapeutic. And that's very, very good to work with the fingers to strengthen those muscles, and it helps them to as well with hand and eye coordination. They need to start looking for those little beads inside the therapeutic, and it's really good. If you're using occupational therapy, they usually recommend, and they start the kids with that. It comes in different levels: soft, medium, and firm, and extra firm. So if your kid is weak in those areas, you can start with the soft one and increasing gradually. So it's a good idea to work with the fine motor skills. And we're gonna continue. As I said, the next activity is I'm using a Connect 4. And my son is moving his hand all over the place. And they just have to put those chips inside a little holes, and they have to connect 4 of them. It doesn't matter the shape, but it works hand and eye coordination as well as his fingers, because he has to try to introduce those chips inside there. So it is fun. It is like it's just a game, but it's actually working and helping with those fine motor skills. As you can see in here, these are inexpensive toys that you can utilize. Okay, and for this activity we're using chips. and a bottle, medicine bottle, but I would just cover it with the stickers and make it fun for him. And he just have to introduce those chips there. And that's another activity. And depends on the strength. You can just do the opening a little bit bigger so it's easier for them. But as you can tell, it works as well for his strength of his fingers. Okay. Next activity that I'm going to show you guys will be the popsicle sticks. And as well, you can use them. This is another idea that instead of using the chips, you can use popsicle sticks. And depends on how big is your container, the one that you have, you can just introduce that popsicle stick there. Or you can use different shapes and types of popsicle sticks, just like these ones that I use for craft. I use them as well for him to work with fine motor skills. Okay. For this activity, we're going to use these images, and we're going to use the Play-Doh right here. So we have this image, and we're going to use the Play-Doh. I download these images from a website. I don't remember. I think that's the name. It's in Spanish. And we have this one here. And what he needs to do is he's gonna grab the Play-Doh, and he's gonna grab an amount, and he will do the shape with the Play-Doh. He will make a spaghetti with the Play-Doh. He will make a spaghetti with the Play-Doh as long as he can do it, and then he's going to try to get the shape that we have there. And this is a good activity as well for them, for hand and eye coordination, as well as for his fingers, because they have to create that shape and they have to make sure they have the right amount of Play-Doh, and they are using their fingers constantly with this activity as well. And they just create the shape with the Play-Doh, and that's how they create the shape. As you can see, it just works with them. They can work with the Play-Doh as well. And then we can use Play-Doh as well. We can use this image as well. You can make photocopies, and they can just cut, and they can use the scissors to practice cutting. As well, we can use this image. We can just the good thing about Play-Doh is that you can make a lot of shapes with them, and you can work with their fine motor skills with their fingers, and it's really good for them. Another example will be this one. They just can just roll a ball, a little ball, and they're gonna try to recreate the shape of the heart or bear or whatever you're using as an image or picture at that moment. And they're just gonna put the Play-Doh, and it's good because to make the ball they have to work really well with their fingers and hand and eye coordination. They're moving their hand, they're moving their fingers. So this is a really good activity for fine motor skills. And as you can see, they just have to recreate the shape of the image that they're seeing below. Then they can as well type the letters, do the letters, fill in the letters. They can actually just match a little bit the balls so they can create different types of shapes. and it works really well with hand and eye coordination because they have to recreate that shape. The next activity we have is the tumbling tower game, and we purchased this one as well at the dollar store. Very inexpensive, and it works very well with his fingers and hands, and it's a good activity as well for you to put your kids to practice and do, because they have to try to get these pieces together without falling. And later on you can play a game with them by trying to detach the pieces without breaking apart. So that is another one of the activities that you can create that will work as well with the fine motor skills. All of these activities work with fine motor skills and hands and eye coordination. And these are toys that pretty much you will have in your home, or that you can buy very inexpensive at a dollar store. The next activity is with this heart, and we're going to use the Play-Doh as well. Something about this is he got this for, I think it was Valentine's Day, and so it was already with us, and we just used it to create this activity. He can do the same as well that we did with the images and the pictures. So he's going to create some little balls or spaghetti, and he's gonna try to recreate the shape of the heart. So he's gonna put these little Play-Doh balls or spaghetti form inside the heart, and it's very easy to recreate, and it's an activity that they enjoy doing it. So pretty much they're just gonna put little pieces of Play-Doh there until it gets full with the shape of the heart, and it works their fingers, and they work as well with the hands. And it's a great activity if you have little kids, and believe me, they will love and enjoy to do these a lot. Another activity that we can create is this one, and I just used one of his toys because it has the little holes in here, and we're using Legos, and he can just put the Legos in each hole. Try to put the Legos in each hole just like that. Depends on the shape, and he can just put them in there. Or he can make just figures with the Legos. He can create some figures with the Legos, and that's working hand and eye coordination as well as fine motor skills because he's working with his fingers. And if you want to make it a little bit more complicated, he can just use the tweezers and try to put the pieces inside the holes. And that's really good if you have a kid that is a little bit older, but you still want to work that area because they are weak on that area. This is a really good way to do it by just creating something that makes it a little bit more difficult and more challenging for them. Another activity that I have for you guys is this one. You're gonna use beads and a string, and you're gonna string beads using this little cord just for doing necklace. I'll say it looks almost like a fishing string, but it creates good activity for them to work with their fingers, and is good for hand and eye coordination as well. All these activities are good for fine motor skills, as you can see, and it's fun for them. They like it, especially when they can create a bracelet with them or a necklace. It makes it really fun for them. As well, they can use the FUSSY sticks, and they can insert the beads inside the FUSSY stick, and it makes it new and different for them to use. And it's fun as well because they can see and they can create different shapes. So those are different activities for them to do. Another activity that they can do is using the FUSSY sticks and the Connect 4, and you will give another use to the Connect 4, is that they're going to try to insert the FUSSY stick and then just give it a twist. And they're working fine and motor skills as well as hand and eye coordination, because they're going to try to insert that FUSSY stick inside the Connect 4 holes. Okay. And the next activity, I call it the cherry on top, because literally you're acting like you're putting a cherry on top of the ice cream scoop. So he's going to grab as well. He's going to grab a letter, and you can have this. I download these images from a website. I don't remember. I think it says it here. Let me see. Let me just put it there for you guys to see. And you can just match the letters, and he will grab these tweezers that I bought at the dollar store, and he's gonna do it with 2 fingers, and he's gonna put that cherry on top. And he's working as well not only his motor fine skill, but as well hand and eye coordination, sorry. And it has different activities for them to do and match, and he can just put the cherry on top. And it's good because, as I said before, they are working different activities all at the same time. They're matching letters, they are doing fine motor skills because they are working with their fingers, with his fingers, and they are working with as well with eye and hand coordination. So it's a good activity as well for you guys to try. And I'm going really fast, and because I'm not trying to make this video too long. Another activity that we can do is try to put the lid on the bottle for them to practice, and it will give them as well hand and eye coordination by them just practicing to close and opening the bottle. So they just close and then they open the bottle, and as you can see, they're moving their hands, is working with their eyes and hand coordination. And it's a good activity as well for fine motor skills because it works with hands and fingers and eyes. The next activity we have, and we can use the bottle, is the pom-poms. So we're going to use again the pom-poms, and they're going to try to put the pom-poms inside the bottle. And if you want to make it a little bit more difficult and challenging for an older kid, they can just grab the tweezers and try to put the pom-poms inside. This is a fun activity for them, as you can tell. And I think I showed you all the activities, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. Please don't forget to share, hit like, and don't forget to make a comment down below. Have a good day. Bye-bye.